What is up, everybody? This is Rebecca Johnson of Supergirl Radio. We are just getting started here, and I see Morgan. If you're good to go, give me some thumbs up. Yes, good. Okay, everyone has the doc. Are we ready to go?
We're ready.
Okay, yeah, this one is a doozy. Lots of talks of demons, angels. Silver Banshee goes to the beauty parlor. It's a real
beautiful makeover.
She's always in need of a makeover, Silver Banshee.
She loves a makeover. She loves creating a makeover.
So lots to talk about in Supergirl 1996 through 2003, number 10 through 13. So Morgan, if you're ready to go, I'm ready to go, and we can go ahead and get started.
McGurk! I love typing.
Not mess with my Google Docs, Meeksy.
Supergirl Radio is going live every night of the week. How do you like it? Is becoming a human burrito a plus or a minus? I don't know. It does seem snug.
I mean, they say you are what you eat.
Kira. I love that.
So I do a podcast called Supergirl Radio, and one of our segments is Lena Luthor, Boardroom or Ballroom. Because
she looks like a boss in this coat.
Nasty Luthor like a different Luthor? It's not just Lena being mean?
No.
Helen Slater here. So fun to know that you're hosting a podcast called Supergirl Radio.
Yes! Welcome to Supergirl Radio, your source for all things related to the character of Kara Zor-El and sometimes Linda Danvers. My name is Rebecca Johnson.
I'm Morgan Glennon.
And for this episode of the podcast, we are live and wired to continue our read-through of the Peter David run of Supergirl with Supergirl 1996 to 2003, number 10 through 13. These are some pretty wild issues, a lot of supernatural occulty things, but also beauty parlors, Silver Banshee makeovers, and Silver Banshee's just really trying to find her place in the world, I think. And so she's out there shopping for dresses and stuff.
Like I have in my subhead, I think Silver Banshee is just misunderstood. I mean, yeah, she's killed some people, but like, who amongst us? Am I right?
I mean, she does kill a lot of people in these issues, though, is the thing.
She's like, whoopsies. I just was trying to get a makeover. Why is everyone screaming?
So there are pros and cons of Silver Banshee, I guess. So we're going to hear her out in these issues. We don't really have any news to go over, which is so strange. We're March 10th into 2026 with a Supergirl movie release of June 26th. That's coming up, and there's not
around
much.
The corner, but you know what? It felt like we had all this news about the movie, and we were so excited, and then it's really slowed down. But I think this is when we're supposed to like really, like commune with the spirit of the movie, like really think about it, like really take some time, like meditative time, to be like, what would it be like? A mixture. Close your eyes and picture, if you will, a movie, a Supergirl movie. That's what they're that's what they want you to do right now.
It's the anticipation. They're trying to build anticipation.
We're building up the anticipation. We're getting very zen with it.
My guess is the first full trailer is going to drop on April 18th, which is now Supergirl Day, formerly
That's
Superman
true.
Day.
It used to be Superman Day, but guess what? We took it over.
So that would be my guess as to when the next trailer will drop. But hopefully we'll get some Supergirl movie news here soon, sooner rather than later. But as of this week, we don't have any news to go over. So we're going to get right into these issues that we're going to be talking about. So the first one is Supergirl 1996 through 2003, number 10, which is a story called Hidden Things and was written by Peter David with pencils by Leonard Kirk. Chuck Drost was the inker. Gene D'Angelo was the colorist. Bob Lappin was the letterer. And Digital Chameleon did the separations. This issue starts with two teenage boys running scared out of a cave and claiming it's after us. We're not told what the it is yet, but don't worry. We will find out eventually. That will be coming as we go through this issue. So stay with us. So meanwhile, in Linda's apartment, we know it's Linda's apartment. She does say this is her place. Dick Malvern is recovering from his time as Tempest Fugit. The whole dinner with the date with Buzz that went south. This is his recovery time from that. Dick opens his eyes and wonders if he's dead and if he's in heaven because he's seeing an angel. Well, really, it's Linda Danvers standing in front of a piece of artwork depicting an angel. But this is the Peter David run, so anything is possible. So
anything could happen at any time. That's what I've learned so far.
So if you think you've seen an angel, maybe you have.
You probably have. You probably have. They're out there. They're everywhere. They're in the outfield. They're everywhere.
Dick Malvern's memory is a little foggy, though. He only remembers a lot of noise and coldness and Linda's face looking down from somewhere. He's like, I saw your face looking down from somewhere. And Linda thinks to herself, thank God. And I always enjoy the emphasis on anytime God or Lord happens in this run because it is so supernatural that she could be talking about God.
It could be anyone.
So thank God, Linda thinks. She doesn't remember what Buzz did to him. That's probably good for him, but also good for her as well. Dick doesn't want to go to a hospital, though. He is recovering, but he doesn't want to go to a hospital. In fact, he hates hospitals. All those germs floating around. He thinks that if he just has a quick nap, he'll be as good as new.
Sure, that's how it works.
Yeah. He thinks the good Lord put Linda on Earth to be his guardian angel. And they flirt a little bit, and Dick leans in and kisses Linda. And Linda's surprised by this, and she tells Dick, go take that nap. When she is on her own, though, there is kind of an interesting thing that happens in the artwork. When she's on her own, Linda looks into the mirror to see her Matrix Supergirl side looking back at her, and she thinks to herself that, quote, compared to Dick Malvern, Lex Luthor kissed like a dead trout, unquote.
Oh, drama.
Something I feel like none of us needed to know. That was not. That was really
shots fired, Lex.
I didn't need to know about any of that stuff. But if you did, that is what the truth is, I guess, from Linda. Over at the Leesburg courthouse, Maddie is attending the trial of the man who killed her brother PJ. During that time when everybody turned into apes, everybody remember that? The man's defense is that he wasn't in his right mind at that time. And the man swears to God and to Maddie that he's sorry that he killed her brother. But Maddie is still pretty angry in the courtroom and is threatened with being held in contempt. So she's kind of acting out while she's in the courtroom. To avoid trouble with the judge, Cutter gets Maddie out of there and reminds her that everyone, including her, went nuts that night when the sun went out. So really, yes, he killed your brother, but like you were doing some stuff too. Don't be forgetting that. So to change the subject, Cutter asks Maddie if she wants to go out with him later. He sort of casually asks her out on a date.
I thought this was the wildest part of the whole issue. They're in the courthouse on the sentencing of who killed this woman's brother.
Yeah.
She's like ready to like jump over some seats. She's ready to like throw down. He like grabs her out of the courthouse and he's like, I know this is like an emotionally charged time for you, but have you ever considered that a date with me might make this better? It's like, sir, read the room. What if
this
we
is
read
not
the
the time?
And she's like, you know what? I should cut loose a little more. It's like, girl, what's happening?
Well, he did remind her that she went a little crazy too. But so Cutter asks her out and she seems open to it. He wants to go to the comedy club later that night because he's supposed to review a new comedian named Andy Jones for the paper. He's got 4 comps, so he's got tickets. He's got free tickets, so why not?
Right.
So he can take up the 3 other people with him to the show. So in turn, Maddie also invites Linda Danvers and whoever she wants to bring as a date. So they're going on maybe like a little double date. 4 people. It's just a group of people hanging out, going to see a comedy show. That sounds fun. That sounds like a way to lighten up the mood for some very serious things that have been happening to them lately. So before tonight's double date, though, Linda hops on a skateboard and she meets up with some old skateboarding pals because her friends Doug and Cliff, nicknamed the Wonder Twins, have been bugging her to get back out there and skate. But they haven't seen Linda skateboarding in a while. I guess old like cult Linda Danvers. I guess she was the skateboarding type.
I guess so. I feel like they were like, we need to tie in the cover of like
the issue 1,
because we haven't really seen her on that skateboard, and they were like, don't worry, like Linda was the skateboarder, and she has skate punk friends. And like, what was Linda's life like? Every time we peel back an onion, the onion that is Linda Danvers, it's like something crazy. It's like, oh, and she was doing that too.
Yeah, she was in a cult. I think she killed a man.
She was in a cult. She killed a man. She skateboarded. She did some weird demon art. I mean, I'm obviously Linda Danvers was kind of not a perfect person, but I will say I appreciate how many hobbies she had.
Yeah, she did have a lot.
She always made time for her hobbies. She followed her bliss. I
think it's mostly because she didn't have a job. I don't think
that's
she had
a help. That's gonna free up a lot of
time on her hands. So it must be easy to have that many hobbies when you don't actually have a day job.
I feel like if I didn't have a day job, I would also be a really good skateboarder, and I'll never learn otherwise.
I can't say that you wouldn't be a good skateboarder.
No one can say that. You can't prove a negative.
So Linda's got some skateboarding pals that she's going to get back out there with and hang out, doing some skateboarding and some tricks and things. She doesn't need the helmet and the pads. Most of the other skateboarders do, but she doesn't. But she likes to set a good example for them. Linda's such a great skateboarder that she makes them all believe that a girl can fly, stealing that Superman the movie tagline there for Supergirl. Linda wonders where Doug and Cliff are, and she's told that they are the two teenagers from the start of the issue who came home after a curfew with a real crazy story about a haunted cave. They saw something, and they don't know what it is, but they definitely saw something. So while Linda's hanging out with her skateboarding punk friends, a car is heard honking and interrupts the explanation of Doug and Cliff's whereabouts. Dick Malvern drives up in a car that is in worse shape than that car that the T-Rex chewed up in Jurassic Park. This beat up car has
timely
a
reference.
Very timely, but you know what? I knew what it was saying.
I did. I think that really speaks to the power of Jurassic Park, that it it actually kind of is still a timely reference. Like the first Jurassic Park movie is now and forever, in my opinion.
Well, for me, the first Jurassic Park movie is the only Jurassic Park movie.
I was about to say, and they keep pumping them out.
They keep
so I guess it technically it is still timely. I think Chris Pratt has made friends with every dinosaur at this point.
I'm sure that in whatever the newest Jurassic World is, there was a car that got beat up.
I feel like contractually they have to beat up a car in each movie.
So I think that reference still stands. But this beat up car has a bumper sticker on the back that reads, quote, "My other car is a Rolls Royce," unquote. The skateboarding guys have fun at Dick's expense and don't think Linda would be caught dead with this goofball. So this, of course, motivates Linda to ask Dick Malvern out on a date because she wants to just prove them wrong.
The old reverse psychology.
So meanwhile, Sylvia Danvers pays Reverend Varvel a visit. She's asking him questions like, do you believe there's a next life? And is there a reward there? She thinks that she has been so certain of the life to come that she's shortchanging herself on this one. And she wants to know more about his offer to study for the ministry, because this is something they've talked about before. The Reverend thinks that maybe she would be interested and good for this. And so she just wants to ask a couple more questions about it. So Linda and Maddie are date dressed. They're ready to go, looking good. So they're ready to go to the comedy show to meet up with Cutter and Dick when they hear a car honk its horn. And at this point, Linda assumes that this is Dick Malvern coming in the beat up old Jurassic Park car coming to pick her and Maddie up. And so Linda's worried that Maddie will make fun of his beat up old ride that might be a little embarrassing to go to the comedy club with. But he actually does show up in his other car, which is a Rolls Royce. The bumper sticker was telling the truth. Dick claims that this much nicer car is a gift from his parents. They're apparently old Southern money. I don't see much of that, but I guess there are people that do have old Southern money. I've seen them occasionally down here.
I've heard tell of them.
So old Southern money does exist.
I think Maddie's outfit for the comedy club, like this double date, is really funny. She's like dressed in business casual. She's got on like a little purple suit set. She looks like she's interviewing.
Yeah, it's maybe not what I would wear to like a comedy club.
Yeah.
Seems
It's like she's like, I got to get this business casual out on a date. I was like, okay, I guess they were doing that in the 90s and not just the early 2000s.
She just wanted to look nice, Morgan, even though most comedy clubs are like dive bars, essentially.
She's like, this comedy club is black tie only, right?
Most comedy clubs I've been to are very dingy with sketchy bathrooms, and it's they're not the high quality establishments. So, but she wanted to look really nice for her date with Cutter. She's taking it real seriously. So Linda, Dick, and Maddie meet Cutter at the Funny Bone comedy venue so he can review this new act that they are all going to see. And while Cutter is looking for his notebook, he needs that notebook to make some notes down about the comedy act. Linda notices that he has pictures in his briefcase of the haunted cave that Cliff took, because Cliff was one of the teenagers at the beginning of the story where he's taking pictures of this haunted cave that they're running out of. And so Cliff took some pictures and Cutter has them in his briefcase because they've tried to go to him to get him to cover it in the paper. And Linda recognizes the young boy with a hat and a bat that she has interacted with before. And he is standing outside the cave in this picture. So this mysterious young boy who always seems to be carrying a baseball bat. He is now somehow associated with this haunted cave, to be determined, I guess, in the future. The comedian that they have all come to see is introduced at this comedy club as they're sitting there. So the comedian Andy Jones is introduced to the crowd, and Cutter glubs his drink. The comedian cracks jokes about her joke of a marriage to her ex named Wendell or Wendell. I don't know, how should we pronounce that? Is it Wendell? Do we think?
I think it's Wendell.
Okay, well, we will call him Wendell. To her ex named Wendell, who always wanted to be a big time writer. And as you can maybe guess, Andy Jones is actually Cutter's ex-wife, whose real name is Andrea Martinez, and all of the jokes are about him. This is not great for Cutter, but everyone else seems very amused. Dick asks Andy if she would like to join them for a drink, and she replies, quote, "I'm kind of beat, actually. I just flew in from the coast, and boy, and she kind of stops herself because that would just be too easy of a joke. Andy would love to tour the town, though, if someone can be her guide and escort her around. Andy asks if Linda would be willing to do it, and Linda agrees as long as it's okay with Wendell. So they're all learning new things about Cutter and his life previous to coming to Leesburg. And so that's how things go down at the comedy club. As Supergirl, Linda flies over the haunted cave to investigate. She saw this weird little boy with the badge. She's going over to investigate. She's lived in Leesburg her whole life and has never been in this area before where this haunted cave exists. She doesn't even remember this haunted cave being there. But a whole area of caverns couldn't just spring up out of nowhere, could it? I mean, this is the Peter David run. We have to remember that. Anything is possible. So while she's there investigating this haunted cave, a blast of hot air pushes Supergirl down into a place of a purple river, stone covering and stone carvings that don't grow in any natural way. Supergirl sees a white hand reaching out, and as Supergirl reaches for it, Silver Banshee tells Supergirl, "Thank you. I swear you won't regret it." And that is the cliffhanger. That's how the issue ends. So in this haunted cave is apparently Silver Banshee for some reason. So
a new haunted cave that she's never known about with Silver Banshee in it. Exciting. I'm loving it.
I mean, if there is going to be something haunting the cave, why not Silver Banshee?
Why not?
So we will see what happens next in Supergirl 1996 to 2003, number 11, which is a story titled Sound and Fury. This was written by Peter David with pencils by Greg Land. Prentice Rollins was the inker. Gene D'Angelo was the colorist. Bob Lappin was the letterer. And Digital Chameleon were the separators. The issue starts with Supergirl thinking that the weirdness in her life would end with Buzz's departure. Buzz, we got rid of Buzz. Things are going to go back to normal. It's not going to be weird anymore. That's a mistake. She shouldn't have thought that. Things are going to get weirder. Instead, she's dealing with haunted caverns under Leesburg and a poor woman, if you want to call Silver Banshee that, imprisoned in the caverns. So Supergirl uses her Psi Blast power and I guess unknowingly, maybe she meant to set Silver Banshee free, but maybe she kind of didn't know what she was doing. But either way,
I feel like she didn't know it was Silver Banshee. Like maybe she just saw that hand like coming out of the wall and like didn't see Silver Banshee. Like maybe only the audience knows it's Silver Banshee. Because I was also wondering why she was working so hard to free Silver Banshee.
I mean, maybe keep Silver Banshee down there.
Maybe she was like, I don't know, this lady seems nice.
So, either way, Supergirl
this lady seems like she wants a makeover.
She just wants to go out on the town, get some new clothes, and go to a beauty parlor and get her hair styled. What's wrong with that? Nothing. So either way, Supergirl has now set Silver Banshee free from this haunted cave/cavern. Supergirl does, though, I think once she sets her free, she does maybe seem to recognize Silver Banshee, and she's now preparing herself for the worst. But Silver Banshee kind of seems nice and cool about everything. Silver Banshee tells Supergirl, quote, "Have a nice day, goodbye," unquote, as if nothing happened, and promises to compensate Supergirl for her good deed, which is very nice.
That's nice.
Silver Banshee kisses Supergirl's knuckles and hugs her in appreciation, but to Supergirl, Silver Banshee feels as cold as death. The purple river in the haunted cave, Well, Silver Banshee tells us that it's called a chaos flow. It's a river of anarchy, a tributary that runs off the river Styx. Silver Banshee doubts that it's always been in Leesburg. Chaos flows tend to spring up when chaotic forces try to influence a place. So I feel like chaos has been flowing through Leesburg. So there was
the apening. So
the apening, the date with the business demon. So there are things that have happened where people have their houses have blown up and things. So I think chaotic forces like a business demon trying to influence a place. I think this does check out. So Silver Banshee might have some knowledge about these chaos flows. Supergirl wants to cut the chaos flow off, though, but Silver Banshee tells her that she can't. Like any river, it has to run its course. So there's really no stopping this chaos flow underneath Leesburg. And as she says this, Supergirl is wrapped up in the tentacles of a sea creature. I guess down in this chaos flow, this river underneath this haunted cave, there's some sort of sea monster. It doesn't really have much to do with anything. It's just there. It gives Supergirl a little trouble.
Yeah, it's just there. It's one of my favorite jokes in the issue, though, because as Silver Banshee is explaining the chaos flow, she turns her back while she's doing all this exposition, and while she's doing the exposition, Supergirl gets wrapped up in a sea creature and pulled under, and Silver Banshee turns around and is like, oh well, I guess she's gone.
That's just what happens down here.
Okay, off to my makeover.
So yeah, good background joke from the artist and the writer here. Over at the Leesburg Tribune, Andy Jones walks in so mad. She is livid because Cutter's review trashed her act. But what did she expect, though? She was telling jokes, making
about
fun of him. Yeah. Did she think he was supposed to love it? I don't know what she thinks here.
She's this cutting edge comedy.
But so Cutter wasn't thrilled with it, trashed her act. All of the jokes were at his expense. So Cutter, of course, would not be happy with it. He does wonder if Andy is still spending the day with Linda Danvers, someone Cutter thinks Andy has less than nothing in common with. Andy makes a deal with Cutter because I think they both find this somewhat amusing. If she doesn't hit it off with Linda, she'll drop the jokes about him. And if they do hit it off, he'll have to do a new rave review of her act. So if Linda and Andy hit it off and they become good new friends, he will have to revise his review of her act. Meanwhile, Maddie is driving around town still angry about her brother PJ's murder as she spots Silver Banshee in Leesburg. So she's just driving around and all of a sudden there's this other weirdo in Leesburg. And so when she sees Silver Banshee, she crashes into the back of Mr. Danvers' police car. So she has gotten caught speeding by Mr. Danvers and also has now run into the back of his car. Not a great thing. Maddie has not had good run-ins with the law in the town. Silver Banshee, though, this new weirdo in town is doing weirdo things like walking into a local hair salon titled Laverne's Beauty Parlor without an appointment and asking them if they can make her beautiful. So I don't know if the weirder question is, can they make her beautiful, or could she have set up an appointment? I don't know.
Yeah, it does feel like she's being a little bit judgmental to this beauty parlor when she just walks out. Do they take walk-ins?
Maybe so. Maybe they take walk-ins, but I feel like maybe she should have made an appointment. She should have called ahead because they do look busy. And the lady with the scissors in the hair salon has an L on her like a jacket thing, like Laverne on Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah.
So that's probably a Laverne and Shirley reference there. So the Silver Banshee just walking into the beauty parlor and expecting things to happen for her. But Supergirl is having a way worse time. She feels like she is in hell with a secret creature under these caverns. And feeling like she's in hell maybe is not that far off.
Maybe kind of accurate.
Because
lots of fire.
She is actually still stuck inside the haunted cave with a horned guy. a horned guy named Lord Satanus. He recognizes Supergirl as, quote, the Blue Angel, unquote, and tells her that her reputation precedes her and that she came to this place on merit. It sort of seems like Lord Satanus is talking to the Linda Danvers part of Supergirl, because she mentions that Supergirl saved you from me. The bigger problem that Satanus wants addressed is the fact that Supergirl released Silver Banshee. So even this crazy guy who looks like Satan is Lord Satanus. He's like, why did you release Silver Banshee? He's even upset about this. So Satanus informs us that Silver Banshee's body will start to deteriorate. And sooner or later, her memory will pierce the veil of her madness, and Supergirl likely won't be able to stop her. Silver Banshee will try to seek out a new body. So keep that in the back of your mind. Lord Satanus informs Supergirl that while Silver Banshee cannot possess her body, Supergirl is one of the 3 chosen ones whose form would repulse her. So, okay, so Supergirl is one of them. I don't know who the other 2 chosen ones are, so we'll have to keep track of that. Lord Satanus encourages Supergirl to be a guardian angel and to protect others from Silver Banshee. Because he seems to know an awful lot about both Silver Banshee and Supergirl, the Blue Angel. So Supergirl flies away from Lord Satanus in this kind of hellish place, and she's covered in flames. So that is something to make note of as well. So this next part of the story is about Sylvia Danvers. She is meeting with Reverend Varvel at the Danvers house for brunch. She wants to discuss her entrance into the ministry. This interest of hers is news to Fred, and he's not that happy about it. So they are still investigating what it would mean if, or what it would look like if Sylvia Danvers decided to enter the ministry. Well, Silver Banshee, she is her, I guess her beauty parlor makeover is starting to take effect. She stares at a beautiful reflection of herself in the glass at Laverne's beauty parlor. But everyone actually in the beauty parlor just still sees Silver Banshee. So she is seeing what I think she wants herself to look like when she's looking into the mirror, but actually she's still just Silver Banshee. So nothing has changed.
I also think it's kind of a good joke because like she's looking in the mirror and there's like this blonde woman in the mirror with like a little hair bow. And she's like, oh my God, I look beautiful. And then when it pans out to like what everybody's actually seeing, it's just Silver Banshee, but with that hair bow. It's like the only addition was the hair bow. And she's like, oh my God, you guys are like so good.
Well, they did, I guess, kind of give her a makeover.
That bow, you know?
They tried. They had tried. So she thinks that she's beautiful now. But Leesburg police try to get Silver Banshee to get out of there and go with them. But a physical fight with the police starts. Silver Banshee and the police are starting to fight. And the mysterious boy with the baseball bat, the eyeglasses, and the hat that was at the cave earlier watches as Silver Banshee walks away after beating up the cops. So he seems to be in a lot of places where strange things are happening. And Silver Banshee, though, after she's kind of beat up the cops and they've had that fight, she has places she needs to shop and she's got clothes she needs to buy. So she is still kind of working on her makeover at this point. More Leesburg police are just like unloading bullets on Silver Banshee. Just a lot of shots, a lot of bullets, a lot of things are flying as she tries on this new outfit, which makes her so angry because they are disturbing her time to shop. So she gets so angry about this that she lets out a loud shriek, just like this loud noise. And Silver Banshee knows all of the names of the police officers from their badges. And apparently that gives her the power to kill them. I didn't realize this about Silver Banshee. I guess that's my ignorance that she had to know the name of the person that she's going to kill. So
yeah, I didn't know. This was a new piece of Silver Banshee lore that I wasn't aware of, that she like to be able to kill somebody with her like Banshee shrieks, she has to know their names. Has that shown up in other Silver Banshee stories?
I don't know, but if anybody in the chat wants to chime in about that, I know Mind the Gap usually has some comic book knowledge for us, but so if anybody wants to chime in on Silver Banshee's ability to kill people by knowing their names, we would appreciate it. So unfortunately for all the police officers, they have their badges with their names on them. So she kills a lot of people and they are dead before they hit the ground. Supergirl finds Silver Banshee and they get into a fight. And Supergirl's Psy Blast seems to be weakening Silver Banshee, who tells the Girl of Steel that she was beautiful once. So they're like having this like deep conversation about Silver Banshee and her past and how she used to be beautiful. And Supergirl can't possibly know what Silver Banshee is feeling. That's what Silver Banshee's like. You don't know what I'm feeling. You don't know what I'm going through. And so Supergirl, though,
You've never been goo.
So Supergirl, though, like most Supergirls that we know of, she shows compassion on Silver Banshee, and Supergirl does kind of know what Silver Banshee is feeling, and she wraps Silver Banshee into a hug. And so I like this part of it, that even after Silver Banshee has done all this terrible stuff, she's killed people, Supergirl is trying to show compassion on her. And so the bad thing is that something happens with one of Supergirl's friends at this point. And just when things seem calm, Maddie walks up. Maddie's been angry for a while after her brother PJ's death and the things with the court hearing, and nobody really facing justice for his death. So she's got all this anger already up inside of her anyway. And I think that allows Silver Banshee to take over Maddie's body. So the new Silver Banshee, Maddie is in there somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but we know it's her because I think the addition, I think, is the headband. Right? Did Silver Banshee have that all the way through?
Yes, I think the addition is the headband.
Yeah, because I think
that's how you
what
can
makes
tell
her
Silver Banshee Maddie.
Yeah, because Maddie wears a lot of those headbands. So you can tell that Silver Banshee has taken over. So Silver Banshee couldn't take over Supergirl's body because she's one of the 3 chosen ones. But she could take over Maddie's body. So that is where we leave Maddie at the end of issue 11. So Morgan,
Drama.
Do we need to stop and take comments from the chat, or do we need to?
I think this is a good time.
Okay.
Mind the Gap says there are a bunch of devils in the DCU: Lucifer, the First of the Fallen, Neron, Trigon, and Satanus.
Yeah, so I guess Satanus is the one that we run into here in these this series of issues. But I've known about Trigon, but some of the other ones I don't know.
Yeah, this is my first interaction with my boy Satanus. And I found him surprisingly helpful. He's like, Supergirl, I'm gonna tell you the score. All right, and now you go fix things. It's like oh, okay. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a battle than that.
He seemed to be on Supergirl's side. He was
did.
Silver Banshee is a menace. Go stop her. And here's all the things you need to know in order to stop her.
He's like, I don't like her makeover, actually. And then I saw HC SP1 in the chat said, all I'm saying is that if Spider-Man skated with Tony Hawk, Supergirl can too.
I think she should at some point. I think Supergirl might be better than Tony Hawk.
I mean,
we
don't
putting it
know.
out there.
We don't know unless they skate together, unless they have a skate off.
I feel like Supergirl would be a really good skateboarder, though.
I think so too. Like if Sophie Campbell is listening right now, just a free pitch.
She would never have to worry about you know how some skateboarders, they have to change things in the air, and so there's a lot of balance that they have to do, and then they have to worry about, are they going to fall, are they going to crash or something. I don't think she has to worry about that. She can control the direction of things,
and she can fly, which is probably an unfair advantage on jumps.
It's cheating, really.
Maybe it's a cheat if you think about it. It's like, look at how much air she's got, and then she just flies away.
So Supergirl would be an amazing skateboarder, but she would be a cheater. So there's that downside.
You win some, you lose. Okay, getting back to Supergirl number 12, which is a story titled Cries in the Darkness, was written by Peter David with pencils by Greg Land. Prentice Rollins was the inker. Gene D'Angelo was the colorist. Bob Lapland was the letterer, and Digital Chameleon were the separators. So this one starts with a Silver Banshee flashback. So the issue starts off 20 years in the past. We see little Siobhan wake up in the middle of the night afraid of monsters. And her mother tells her that everything will be okay. There are no monsters around and there never will be. And then it's like, well, got some bad news for her. So we're back in the present, and Supergirl is fighting the Silver Banshee version of Maddie, who is telling Supergirl that she's evil. But Supergirl doesn't believe it. She thinks that there's good in even Silver Banshee. What I'm referring to is Silver Maddie, because it's confusing because she is both Maddie and Silver Banshee at the same time. So emotionally fraught.
Yes.
So Silver Maddie thinks this means that the S on Supergirl's chest stands for sap. Which is
burn.
A solid burn. She's like, I just killed a bunch of people. Like, how do you not think I'm evil? She's like, some people are just evil and they aren't worth the effort trying to save. But Supergirl disagrees, which is a very Supergirl thing of her to do. Right at that moment, Fred Danvers shows up with his fellow officer Tyler as backup to the fallen officers. Fred Danvers is really good at showing up at like emergency situations where he's about to die. It's kind of his best thing. Supergirl's like, no, not again. So to try to save her/Linda's father, she ends up getting thrown right into the police car. And Fred Danvers is shocked that Silver Banshee knows who he is. Bet you wish you hadn't given Maddie that ticket now.
Multiple, maybe multiple tickets.
Maybe a lot of tickets.
Crashing into the police officer car.
That's true. I said, yeah, probably wishing he didn't give her a ticket right about now. Silver Banshee says that if Supergirl wants to believe in the good of everyone, she can be a martyr and die for her cause. Then she says Supergirl's name and uses her Banshee scream, which hits Supergirl dead on, and Supergirl goes down. So now, that seems bad.
Before we move on, I do have a question, because there's a whole debate with Silver Banshee and Supergirl about who is evil. Are there even evil people? And I appreciate that Supergirl's like, no, I believe in the good of people. I think that people can be good. And it's like, yeah, but Linda, like a demon ate dinner at your house and like blew up your parents.
But I guess if I'm playing devil's advocate,
I wish I had a rim shot.
But there was a little bit of good even in Buzz.
And even in Linda Danvers, probably.
And in Linda Danvers, because even though Buzz was evil, like 95%, that 5% ends up winning out in the end, and he helps Supergirl out and saves her from turning completely bad and kind of like giving into her rage. He kind of pulls her back from the edge. So even in the case where, you know, Buzz is like a very, very bad guy, I still remember him killing that puppy. I don't like it.
We'll never forget it.
Never forget. R.I.P. that puppy. We will avenge you. But there is a little bit of good even in Buzz. So I feel like so far in this run, there is kind of this thought that like maybe even the most evil of creatures has some small bit of good within them.
That is a very strong argument for that position. So I appreciate you sharing that. That helps me out a lot, because I was like, I don't know. I mean, we have seen like devils and demons and stuff.
We have seen Satanist just 1 issue ago. But to be fair, he was
helpful. Yeah. So
he helped her out. So
I think that is a very good case to be made. So thank you for clearing that up for me.
So then we flip over to a very important storyline for us to be hitting right now, which is Andy outside Linda's place. Andy's waiting to hang out with her today and be shown around Leesburg, and she's surprised she doesn't seem to be there.
I mean, Linda's a little busy.
Linda's got stuff to do. And also Linda is a complete stranger to you, lady. Like, why are you
You just met her last night.
Literally just met her. She's friends with your ex-husband that you spent the entire night trashing. And she's like, why would my new best friend abandon me this way? So Cutter pulls up to taunt Andy about Linda not showing up, and Andy dumps a cup of cold coffee in his lap. And I, honestly, seeing this back and forth, I can't imagine why these two crazy kids make it work.
They seem so happy.
They seem so functional. Elsewhere, what I call a little bat boy, because I've again, even though they introduced him and they told us what his name was, I forgot. Rebecca very kindly put in the document that he's been called Wally. So
I had to look it up too. I couldn't remember either.
I just could not remember, and I was like, I should look up the doc, but I'm lazy. So instead, all over my section, I put little bat boy. Ironically, he nearly gets mugged for his bat by a bunch of bat wielding thugs. So I gotta say, stepping outside, you could say, do you need a bat if you have a bat? Like,
right.
You know, this isn't like a need that you have. You already have a bat.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think that they're maybe just not good people. So surprising everyone, Wally, he goes bat to bat with the thugs and he takes them down to the point that they're like begging for mercy. I thought, honestly, darkly, I thought little bat boy was just gonna kill these thugs, and I was like, "Whoa,
he
we're
really
going to a
wails
dark
on
place."
Yeah, he wails on them.
He's not happy. You don't try to take little bat boy's bat. That's like a big part of his name.
What I think is interesting, and maybe we have to come back to this, but as Wally, the little bat boy, is like pounding on this guy, the guy says, "God, no, please," and then little bat boy says, "Okay, but only because you said please." And I don't know. I'm just hanging on the words where they say God and things like that.
Oh my God. If little bat boy ends up being God, like the big G upstairs, that would be the wildest thing. I would love that.
So I can't fully remember, but that seems to be
crossed.
something that we need to pay attention to.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed now. Now I'm excited about where these turn of events can go. So as Rebecca mentioned, he's like, well, since you said please, and he skips off to try to get to the fight with Supergirl. Still have no idea what this kid's deal is, but maybe he's God. Would be wild. Elsewhere, Fred offers Supergirl a hand up and says they thought they had lost her for a moment. Supergirl surprised she's alive, but flashes back to something Buzz said about finding out whether she's finally become one, the only question being one what. So Supergirl says she's definitely a real girl, and she lifts Fred up in the air. She's like, I'm real.
I don't think just to be fair, like if Fred thinks that this is just like his daughter, like his human daughter, she's lifting a human man, her father, up in the air.
This is Supergirl, though.
This is Supergirl.
So
okay.
he knows
yes.
He knows it's not. He doesn't
right.
know it's Linda.
That's true. That's true. Good point. Good point.
And so Fred is like, "This is so fun, and I'm so happy for you." That like crazy lady's still on the loose, though. Just to redirect you for a second, Supergirl realizes she thinks she knows where Silver Banshee Maddie is and flies off. So Fred wonders if this is what Commissioner Gordon feels like all the time. He's
probably
like, here I am with this. So as Supergirl flies, she thinks that Maddie must be after her brother's killer and will definitely kill him since she nearly killed Supergirl. She thinks that she survived because I'm as much Linda as Supergirl now, not simply one wearing the I think I typoed this. So I think it was supposed to be
the shell.
The shell. Thank you. I was like, the sheet? Sure. I mean, I guess that works. She says, not simply wearing the shell of the other. It's not like Clark affecting a change by swapping suits. I really am Linda now. She wonders what the angel part of her means and thinks that part still makes no sense. Right there with you, Supergirl.
It's a little hard to follow.
Not sure what's going on with the angel thing. Still really trying to wrap my head around the fact that you are part Supergirl, part cult leader,
and part goo.
And word goo. We can't forget the goo. We don't want to erase her goo side. That's really important. So Silver Banshee Maddie bursts into the mental hospital just as the doctor is reassuring a patient that his delusions of creatures with skeleton faces and wild eyes are just commercials for the movie Mars Attacks. But not so much now. I thought that was such a funny joke in the issue. The doctor immediately passes out, and the patient offers to take Silver Banshee Maddie to see McPhee, who is the man who killed her brother, if she'll bring him back to Mars. And she's like, all right. She doesn't seem to know what's going on either. She's like, all right, sure, whatever you need.
I like that it still shows that like Silver Banshee's not just some like uncontrollable rampaging monster. Like she has a mind where she's like taking in the things that people are saying to her and she's responding to them. I don't know. Sometimes when I think about Silver Banshee, it seems like sometimes it doesn't feel like there's like a persona or a person in it. And so I think that little moment shows that like Maddie's in there somewhere.
Yeah, I liked that moment. It made me laugh where she was like, okay. Elsewhere, Dick Malvern discovers that he's completely cured of cancer, just like Buzz told him he would be. He's pretty psyched about this medical miracle. Now, I got to be honest, I don't remember if we knew he had cancer.
I don't think we did.
Okay, that makes sense. I thought we didn't, but then I was like, it's been a couple weeks. Anything is possible in this run.
Yeah, and I guess when you make a deal with the devil, well, I guess it's not technically like the devil, just one of the demons. I guess Buzz can do that for him, but it feels like that comes with a catch, though.
There might be a cost. Sometimes there is.
I can't imagine there was not a cost to it.
Uh-oh. Just as Silver Banshee Maddie is ready to kill McPhee, Supergirl bursts in and puts her hand over Banshee's mouth. But Banshee stops struggling because it turns out the patient took her to the wrong guy. It's not McPhee. So Silver Banshee Maddie tells Supergirl to come with her if she dares.
Shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, very, very ominous. Then she questions how Supergirl doesn't believe in true evil by pointing to a lot of the prisoners for the criminally insane. Supergirl has seen such evil. How can she believe true evil doesn't exist? So they're having that debate as well. They're like, Silver Banshee is like, as somebody who is really evil, although I love fine fashion, how do you not think evil exists? And Supergirl is like, I believe in everyone.
But wait, but just because you believe in high fashion doesn't mean that you're not evil. You could still be evil and like all of
I watched The Devil Wears Prada. A lot of those people today.
I mean, all of the Disney villains, they're all like dressed with the high collars and everything. They love fashion.
Couture goes along with evil, perhaps. She's like, my couture has actually made my evil stronger. Supergirl tells Maddie that she has to let the anger go because it won't bring PJ back. Maddie is so upset that she lost her brother. She says it's not fair. As she becomes more upset, Supergirl hugs her and Maddie says, help me, someone. I need Linda. To which Supergirl replies that she is Linda. Doing this, she realizes, will make her vulnerable to Silver Banshee's scream. You know me now. You could kill me, but instead of hurting me, you're going to let the hate go. And this actually works, even though this was a pretty big gamble. And Maddie crying does. She splits from Silver Banshee, and then Maddie falls on the ground. I'm assuming conveniently memory wiped so that she doesn't remember the Linda thing.
This is probably like a Dick Malvern situation where she totally doesn't remember.
So then Supergirl is holding Silver Banshee as she cries that she never wanted to be like this. She asks Supergirl not to let the monster hurt her. And just like Siobhan's mother all those years ago, Supergirl says that nothing will happen to Siobhan and there are no monsters. Crying, Silver Banshee asks Supergirl not to leave her as she becomes smaller and smaller and finally disappears. Supergirl says she'll always be with her, always. R.I.P. Silver Banshee. Although I do like pocket-sized Silver Banshee. Is so cute.
She is cute.
She's so cute. Like, why couldn't they just keep her that size? I mean, they did that to Tiny Tano.
They
remember?
could have put her in the Bottle City.
They could have just dropped her little self into the Bottle City of Kandor.
But then all of the Kandorians have to deal with Silver Banshee.
All of a sudden, you start hearing all these screams from the Bottle City. You're like, oh,
like
no.
everyone in Kandor dies.
Oops.
She learns all of their names.
Supergirl's like, she was so cute though.
Yeah, I've never seen a Silver Banshee shrink like that. So very cute.
That was a fun way, I think, for Silver Banshee to go out, just like getting cute and small and then disappearing.
But I do feel bad for Siobhan though. Like, it doesn't seem like she wanted any of this.
No,
And,
I forget what the Silver Banshee like backstory often is.
It's like isn't it an Irish curse? Or or is it Scottish?
I think you might be right about
Siobhan? Is it
Irish seems right to me, and I think
Yeah.
Siobhan is an Irish name, but I also could be wrong.
Yeah, so I think it's like a curse on their family, so it's like passed down through the generations. But I always feel kind of bad for Siobhan. I don't think she ever wanted this to happen to her, and so then she just has to fight the curse the whole time she's alive. So,
And I also
There's
really
that.
love, like, selfishly, I love Silver Banshee because her character design's so cool, especially in these issues where she's like essentially kind of black and white while everybody else is in color. It looks really cool, and the contrast is awesome.
yeah, she really stands out.
I love Silver Banshee, an icon. Loved her makeover. The hair bow was sick. That takes us to our last issue that we're going to be covering for this episode. So Supergirl number 13 is a story titled Incubus and was written by Darren Vincenzo, which is not Peter David, which I was surprised about.
Maybe Peter David was like on vacation.
Peter David took
or
a
like sick?
vacation that week, and somebody else was like, I'll do something weird too. Don't worry about it, bro. Finger guns. And then, so it's written by Darren Vincenzo with pencils by Leonard Kirk. Cam Smith was the inker. Gene D'Angelo was the colorist. Pat Prentice was the letterer, and Digital Chameleon did the separations. So the issue starts with three girls talking about some guy named Damon who talks to them in Latin. So already we're starting out on a weird note. One of the girls says that whatever is happening, it's wrong. So they're outside the Danvers house because they're hoping to speak to Sylvia and that she might know what to do. She lets them in and they say they have to talk to her right away about something strange. And then it seems like we kind of like skip over what they told her, and then it's just her reaction. It's like, oh my. So it's got to be bad. And she sends Fred off to get baking powder. Fred, as usual, is grumpy about this, and he storms off past Linda, like grumbling about baking powder and women and whatnot. It's like, all right, fine, don't eat the baked goods she makes you then, Fred. Linda walks in the house and hears the girls talking about this happening when they sleep. They feel a weight on them, and then Damon comes talking to them in Latin, and things get weird, and then they wake up. So Sylvia says that she'll talk to the Reverend in confidence and that everything will be okay. Listening in, Linda is like, oh, LOL, Mom, that's not going to work. The girls go outside wondering if Miss Danvers can really help when Linda runs out to talk to them. They say they're being seduced in their dreams by a creature that is attractive in a repulsive kind of way, which is really a backhanded compliment.
Sure.
Brutal for old Damon to hear if he was here with us.
But maybe he would consider being repulsive to be attractive.
That's true. Maybe he'd be into it. Maybe like, yeah, I am. That's right. I'm creeping you all out. The description of the creature paralyzing them makes Linda flash back to her time as evil Linda Danvers with Buzz. The cult has a girl in this flashback and puts her into a trance sleep where this Damon is going to come and like get her. Linda's flashback face freaks all the girls out because she's like doing that thing where she just like stops and stares. And then they're like, what's happening? You are freaking, like,
Your
what is
face
going
is
on with
telling me something.
what's going on with your face? Do you recognize this guy? Do you know this guy? And she's like, what guy? I don't know anything. Her eyes are getting like larger. I don't think she's good at like being cool.
Not a good bluffer.
Not a good bluff. Linda's all the girls kind of realize that she knows something about this, but then they're all like, I gotta go. Oh my God, I just heard somebody call on my phone. And it's like, Linda's like, those are your fingers. So it's not a phone. And then they run off. Behind her, Damon asks her how she's been and how Buzz is. It's like, wait, what is happening?
Damon apparently knows Buzz.
He's
They're
like
friends.
he's like right behind her, just kind of like crouching in a tree like a cool guy would. Just chill. Turning into Supergirl, she wonders how he can appear outside of the dream plane. He asks her how she knows she's not already sleeping. Supergirl grabs him and throws him through a bench, telling him to leave the girls alone. Instead, he tells her to have her mother butt out of his business or her family will pay.
No.
And then he disappears. Like, all right, that's really very dramatic. Linda wakes up. So I guess he was right that she was indeed in the dream plane. That was a bit of a tell on his part. Linda wakes up to her father telling her if she's going to sleep in the park, the least she could do is sleep on a bench. I feel like that's probably not the worst thing about sleeping in a public park is like not sleeping on the bench. But
I would rather sleep on like the grass, maybe like on a nice blanket.
Yeah, the grass seems much softer.
Yeah.
He's like, the old days when I could sleep in parks without my back aching. It's like, all right, Fred. All right.
I think your back was aching because you slept on the benches.
What if the reason your back aches now is because you were sleeping in the park so often then? Have you ever thought about that? They get home to find Sylvia down a demon rabbit hole. She's got like a bunch of books open. She's talking about demons having relations with the daughters of man and the unholy results. And like Linda's like, I gotta talk mom off of the ledge. Mom's going to a dark place. So she's telling her mom that if she believes in demons, she should also believe in angels, and that her faith was what got her through when Linda was missing. She's like, remember when I was missing? Remember when I was in that cult briefly and I killed those people and you were like kind of worried about me, but like I turned it around, right? I'm like making little angel statues now.
Not weird, not making those weird demon things anymore.
I'm like a whole different person. You could almost say I'm a whole different person. But remember those dark times when I personally made your life bad? And her mom's like, yeah, actually I do. I actually do remember those dark times. And Linda's like, well, go back to there. Like, what got you through? And she's like, certainly not you. Sylvia seems, although somehow this works, and Sylvia seems to cheer up. She's like, back to baking. Like, okay, she's given up. She's given up researching the demons. She's given up getting these girls any help. She's gonna bake them a cake, and that's gonna fix it.
She needs a change of situation.
She's like, let go and let God. It's like, Sylvia, they explicitly asked you for help. They didn't ask you for a bundt cake, but that's what they're gonna get. She's thinking everything's going to be all right by next Sunday somehow, not with her help.
That's a quick turnaround, though.
It is a quick turnaround. She's expecting a lot from the angels all around. In the background, Fred is fuming because he bought her baking powder when she already had baking powder.
Don't you hate that? I hate that.
That's the worst. I legitimately, I think, would watch like a Fred and Sylvia like honeymooners style sitcom where Fred is just like always like muttering and Sylvia's like, I'm gonna go see the Reverend today. It would be great. I would watch it.
I would be into it.
So now Linda's taking over. Linda's taking the wheels on this. She's like, I can't have Sylvia in this. Now I'm going to figure out what's going on. So at McGavin's occult shop, Linda is reading up on incubi and succubi. which succubi is the female variety. So Linda's like reading these books. Behind her is the shop owner. So Linda says that the book she's reading says visitation was viewed as proof that women were witches. And McGavin in the background points out that men being visited by succubi, they were thought to be just innocent victims. So that feels right. But the women are witches, of course.
Oh, of course.
Then out of nowhere, he says that Merlin's father was a demon. I just love this guy. I don't know what his story is, and I want to know what his story is.
I want to know how he knows that Merlin's father was a.
This comes out of nowhere. Like, he's just like, Merlin's father was a demon.
Like, where did he get this information?
Okay, sir, thank you for that fact. You should just throw that fact casually into conversation. It's a sort of a way to make friends and influence people. He also lends her all the books she's reading instead of selling them to her, because he knows she's trying to help someone.
I thought this was very nice, although this is not maybe a good thing from like a business
From
perspective.
a business perspective, I wrote down in my notes, good guy, although maybe not a great businessman.
Here, just take the books home with
We
you.
had
if you
the
want.
same thought. It's like, how much traffic do you think his occult shop gets? Like, I
Probably
imagine Linda trying to buy a bunch of expensive books. That's probably like going to make his rent for the month. And he's like, no, it's on me. It's on me.
Yeah, I mean, Leesburg is kind of a strange
That's
place, so there
true.
might
That's
be a lot of
true.
occultic people who go.
There
in
might be a
there.
lot of, there was that cult. And I bet they went in there all
There
the time.
literally was a cult.
He's actually got a pretty big audience in this town. He could have, never mind. I take it back. He can afford it. He can afford it. He's like, listen, I'm going to give you all these books. You help out. I do want you to just, like, if you can slip into conversation that Merlin's father was a demon at some point, that's payment enough for me.
Yeah.
Just wants to spread the good word.
I think it's nice for him to do this for Linda, though, because we know Linda can't afford it. She's not selling any more new weird artwork.
She's only really been selling those angel sculptures to her own mother, so it's sort of like a closed system. And I don't think that Linda has a job besides that.
No, she's not making any money.
No. That's why she has all that time to skateboard, as we've established earlier. So Linda goes home and she's reading the books. She's in her Supergirl suit for some reason, which I find strange because it seems kind of risky. Like, what if somebody walks in and she's just in the full Supergirl costume? There's really no reason to be in the Supergirl costume while reading in bed, but maybe that makes her feel better about herself.
Well, and she wasn't in the Supergirl suit in the bookstore.
She certainly wasn't. No.
So she went home and she put it on.
Yeah, it seems strange. It's a weird detail in the art. I was like, I went back and I like looked at it and was like, no, that's the suit, all right. Okay, sure. Whatever you need to get through the night, Linda. But of course, she's reading these books. They're kind of boring, and she falls asleep. And of course, Damon comes to her just the way the girls described. But Supergirl is ready because she says this is actually her dream and she can do whatever she wants in it. She says that she knew he was coming and she actually invited him. And then when he gets close to her, she punches him. So it's on now. She's got him right where she wants him, I guess, maybe kind of. She says that he holds most girls in a grip of terror. They're so terrified they don't realize that they can resist. She says in her dreams, she makes the rules. So rule number 1 is that he doesn't stand up unless she tells him to. And then rule number 2 is he doesn't speak unless she tells him to. And at this point, he like tries to say something and he kind of stops because guess what? It's her dream and she makes the rules. But rule number 3 is the most important rule, which is that as they're fighting, she like kind of throws him into the bathroom and he's in the shower and the water is running all over them. And she said, rule number 3 is that the water that's raining down on them is actually holy water, which is bad news for Damon. He screams and he hisses and then he melts like the Wicked Witch. We've had a lot of fun deaths in these issues. Like you can get teeny tiny and be really cute and then kind of like poof, out of existence, or you can like hiss and then melts. There's so many different ways to go. Supergirl thinks Faith can move mountains or lakes, as the case may be. I mean, that was like shower water, but whatever. I'm not going to nickel and dime you on that one, Supergirl. So Linda wakes up with all the books around herself, and she seems kind of relieved, like, oh, okay, well, done that, I guess.
Takes care of that.
I would have loved to see her like kind of like put the books back and then like go back to the bookstore and be like, actually, I only really needed them today.
You can have them back now.
Sort of figured out my whole situation, as it turns out. But thank you for that fun Merlin fact. The next Sunday, she sees the girls at the church and they hug Sylvia, finally safe from the incubus. Linda thinks, what is it that song says? A dream is a wish your heart makes, but faith in yourself is what makes those wishes come true. And then she just like smiles to herself like, that's right. That's right. You're in my dream now.
So we have defeated some incubuses, banshees, some demons, lots of crazy things happening in these issues. But the Supergirl seems to manage through it, and people in her life are trying to avoid some of the craziness, not being successful. Maddie turned into Silver Banshee, and things are happening. But I think these are some pretty fun issues to read. Sometimes very heavy in some of the material, but I still like it. I like the continuing storyline as it goes through. It's very consistent in the story that it's telling. It's like, hey, remember that time when Dick Malvern was Tempest Fugit? Hey, remember that time when Buzz did that thing? So it's not forgetting the things that came before it. So I like reading through these issues because it feels like one big connected story. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I appreciate how each story does kind of feel like, there's a couple two-parters, like the Silver Banshee one and the Apening, of course. But each story feels like its own thing, but it pulls in elements from the run. So like we have Buzz, and even though Buzz has been defeated, we don't completely forget about him. He's mentioned a couple times. We've got Linda's backstory, even though I feel like Linda and Supergirl kind of came to kind of terms with each other at the end of the first volume. We still get some flashbacks to her sort of unsavory background in this one. So I like that they're keeping the characters and the, some of the mysteries, like what's going on with little Bat Boy. What's his deal?
Yeah, I think it's been pretty consistent so far. So we'll have to see if that stays the course. Before we get out of here, though, I think maybe we should hop in the chat real quick before we go. Any comments that we need to address in there?
Mind the Gap says, I think that's the actual lore. I think Mind the Gap was referring to a demon being Merlin's father.
Whoa! Or is this in relation to Silver Banshee killing people because she knows they're to clarify Mind the Gap, which actual lore you're talking about? Because I've never heard that about Merlin's father being.
Neither have I. This guy at the occult bookstore was my first introduction to
I watched that whole BBC TV series.
Me too.
And I don't think that was in there.
I don't remember that in there.
And that is very true to the story of Merlin. That definitely is exactly what happened with Merlin and King Arthur.
Yeah, that's 100% accurate, right? Yeah. I thought. Okay, it's Mind the Gap says, Merlin, not an expert, just watched Excalibur and read Camelot 3000.
I'll have to go back and watch Excalibur. That's fun fact. That's one of Zack Snyder's favorite movies. And it influenced a little bit of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. So if you watch Excalibur, you'll see some things in there as well. So I'll have to go back and rewatch that to see Merlin's father being a demon.
I don't think I've watched that movie in a really long time, and so I wanted to look it up, and I don't think I realized that like Helen Mirren was in it.
Oh yeah, that's early Helen Mirren. Yeah,
that's crazy. We gotta put this on the watch list. We gotta really get into that Merlin lore on this podcast.
And Camelot 3000 apparently is a 12-issue comic book series from 1982 to 1985. So maybe this was also in reference to the comic book, which was put out by DC Comics. So maybe they were just following Merlin mythology as in the comics.
Ooh, okay. We've got some backstory here. Really digging into what matters for this Supergirl podcast. A bit of Merlin lore that was dropped.
This is important.
Thank you. At Mask of Shy says, yes, in many medieval, especially Christian influenced legends, Merlin's father was considered a demon, specifically an incubus or antichrist.
Okay.
This origin story was popularized by Geoffrey of Monmouth.
I like
Mask
Monmouth.
of Shy
Cool.
says that they Googled it.
Yeah.
Just Googled it, which I guess we could have also done, but it's more fun when you guys do it. It's like
Yes.
interactive.
Thank you for doing that work for us.
But I think that based on the incubus portion of it, I have to imagine that the writer put that in purposefully.
Yes, that seems to be connected. So that's actually good to know. I
Very
learned some
cool.
things. Thank you to what's his face who ran that occult shop. I've learned something now.
I'm constantly learning from this podcast.
I don't really want to learn from a fictional occult shop because they were giving away free tarot cards, and I'm not touching those. But but I did learn something about Merlin from him. So I guess there is that.
Stanley in the chat wants to know, is the art good? Because we did change artists for this volume.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with the art. I think it's actually for me it's pretty clear in what's happening. I like some of the especially in that last issue that we read, issue 13. It has a sequence where Linda is reading some in the books, and it sort of like goes to black as she's kind of coming in and out of consciousness. So I like the way that they played with panels in that one especially. So I think the art does a pretty good job because I don't have any, like, I'm not confused for the most part, and it looks good. So I think and some of the stuff could have been really difficult to understand. The Silver Banshee stuff could have been hard to understand, but I think it's for me, very clear. I don't know. What do you think about the art, Morgan?
Yeah, I agree. I think that the art's really is still pretty good. I thought it was it was very reminiscent of the art in issue 1, to be honest, where I didn't feel like sometimes you'll start with one artist and then it'll switch to a different artist who has a wildly different style than the first artist, and you're like, whoa, it looks completely different. And I think that these two artists had somewhat similar styles, so the transition from the first volume to the second volume didn't feel too abrupt to me, and I think that they did like a good job with layouts, with colors, and the art itself. Kind of, I didn't find very many situations where I was like, wait, what's happening?
I think is all good art in comic books should do. It is helping to tell the story in an effective way. So that I think is good.
Mind the Gap said in the chat, I like how they draw Silver Banshee with face paint almost, because some artists mistakenly draw her face skeletal.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
She does, I guess, because she sort of looks like a skeleton. Like I could see how you could interpret it that way. And I guess is Silver Banshee, should she be just a skeleton? Is she like a Mr. Bow thing, or is she just like a person she's just white and black?
I think she's just like a person who's like white and black. Yeah. I think like she's just kind of colorless.
Yeah.
What
are banshees? Are not that I mean, I assume they're not real, but maybe they are. Are banshees supposed to be? So the AI overview, if you want to trust it, says banshees are female spirits from Irish folklore that herald the impending death of a family member by wailing, screaming, or keening. So I was wondering if they were like supposed to be ghosts, but this just says a female spirit.
A description in the Wikipedia says, sometimes she has long streaming hair, which she may be seen combing, with some legends specifying she can only keen while combing her hair. Maybe that's why Silver Banshee was like, I need to go get my hair done.
I like that. I like that thought.
Another one says she wears a gray cloak over a green dress and her eyes are red from continual weeping. It says she may be dressed in white with red hair and a ghastly complexion, according to a first-hand account by Anne, Lady Fanchois, in her memoirs.
Oh, there's somebody who had a memoir.
Somebody had a first-hand account.
I think whatever the person saw was probably just a lady who had a real tough time. I don't know.
It was like a bad day for her. She's like crying, and that lady's like, "My God, a banshee!" Like, look at her unnatural face, and the lady's like, "Come on,
I'm trying here." Yeah, so I guess she's supposed to be more of a distraught person than like a skeletal figure. So I think that's a good distinction that I had not really thought about, to be honest. So
well, I'm really going down rabbit holes I would have never dreamed of in this issue.
Yeah, so I think that's cool. Well, so we will continue to move forward. We've made it to volume 2 of the Peter David run. I'm really proud of us.
It's crazy.
It's a lot of
Show and
issues.
tell.
Yeah, but we've made it. We're now into volume 2. So if you want to read with us, pick up volume 2 as we move along. I think it's going to get progressively more confusing as to the issue numbers as we go through this.
I sense that as well.
So we're going to try to keep up with it to make sure that we have the right one as we go to the next one in our read through. But I think it'll be fun I think there's 4 volumes in total. So I mean, we're almost halfway there. So this is a long comic book run. Because it went for 7 years.
Oh my God,
we're doing this real quick.
We're sort of breezing through.
So I'm really proud of us. We've gotten into volume 2 of the Peter David run. That's a major accomplishment, and I think we should just really soak it in and be proud of ourselves. So thank you to everyone who is joining us as we go through it.
Now, Rebecca, I have a question before we start wrapping up.
Yes,
from Stanley in the chat. Stanley wants to know, does Silver Banshee scream louder than Black Canary?
Okay, that I think has been debated. I cannot remember who screams louder, Silver Banshee.
I'm sure this has been a topic of conversation on the internet.
I know that both of them can cause problems for the Kryptonians and like make their ears bleed. So one of the things I'm seeing is says Black Canary's canary cry is typically depicted as stronger and more versatile than Banshee's scream. I guess typically if Black Canary goes up against Silver Banshee, Black Canary is going to win, which I would hope so, just because like that's Black Canary's thing, is the whole canary cry. Whereas Silver Banshee, like she screams, but it's more about the killing people for her. It's not really about her effective screaming. But I think I guess the real answer to that is whatever the writer decides.
I think that is true. I'm sure this has happened at some point in the comics. But I don't know about it.
Yeah, I think typically what I'm seeing is that Canary is going to win if they faced off, but I think it's just kind of, if I would want Black Canary to win.
I would too. Yeah.
But they are both their sonic screams are very troublesome for Kryptonian ears. So no matter who it is, these ladies are to be feared when it comes to them opening their mouths, because they can make Kryptonian ears bleed for sure. Okay, well, good question. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Supergirl Radio. If you want to contact us, you can post a comment on our website at supergirlradio.com. You can email us at supergirlradio@gmail.com. You can like us on Facebook and follow us on X and Instagram, all at Supergirl Radio. If you like what we do, we encourage you to give us a rating and write us a review on Apple Podcasts. Supergirl Radio is part of the DCTV Podcast and Multiverse of Color Networks, and you can hang out with us as we typically go live and wired on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on the DCTV Podcast YouTube channel. Sometimes due to our lives, sometimes we have to change that up a little bit, but usually Tuesday night. So check the YouTube channel for when we go live. DCTV Podcast also has a TeePublic store, so if you're in need of any new DC Comics, DC TV, Supergirl related t-shirts, tank tops, sweatshirts, magnets, tote bags, pins, phone cases, shorts, pillows, stickers, hats, all kinds of things. Go to supergirlradio.com and click on the TeePublic store at the link on the top of the page.
And while we wait for new Supergirl news, very anxiously, we think you should make everyone understand that you are just here for Supergirl with our design in the DC TV podcast TeePublic store.
I think you should get the Just Here for Supergirl shirt, and then when somebody talks to you about the new Lanterns trailer for
Just
the
be like,
TV
come
show,
on, just here for Supergirl.
Yeah, I'm not interested in Lanterns. I'm just here for Supergirl. I feel like that is what we should be communicating to the world. So if you want to check that out, we've got a lot of designs in the TeePublic store if you are interested. We would also like to thank our Legion of Super sponsors for supporting the Supergirl Radio Patreon. These people are Michael, Sam, Anne-Marie, Yvonne, Nicola, Abby, Miriam, Nicole, Brian, Ethan, Majuba, Andy, Rachel, and Kit. If you'd like to also become a Legion of Super sponsor, you can go to patreon.com/Supergirl Radio. And I think we need Morgan to decide what we're going to do next for the Patreon. I do know that the new season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is coming up.
I know. I'm so excited.
We've covered all seasons of the show. I feel like we have to continue.
Wives secret is a secret. Our secret is that we're a Mormon Wives podcast at heart.
So if you want to follow along with us as we watch that show, which I think has some interesting things I'm looking forward to. It looks like Demi is not even like in the
I know drama. I was just looking up when the new season comes out, and it comes out on Thursday.
This Thursday, like this week.
Thursday.
Oh
so
my
close.
gosh,
we're so close to new Mormon Wives.
Can I just not go to work on Friday?
That's what I want.
And then just stay up all night and watch Mormon Wives.
Just binge it.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to binge it until I finish. So maybe we'll do a little Patreon on that and figure out some other things that we want to do for the Patreon, but we will be getting to that soon. And if you want to follow me on the internets, you can do that. I'm on Vero True Social at Derby Kid. I'm on Instagram at the Derby Kid. You can go to youtube.com/DuckMilkProd and see some of the reviews and some of the videos and commentary that I have over there. So those are the places you can find me on the interweb.
And you can find me on the internet at Mojotastic and also as a co-host on the Legendary Ladies podcast, which you can find at the Legendary Ladies on YouTube and Instagram and at Legends_podcast on Twitter. I know we have been on a slight hiatus, but we are planning a new episode soon. All of our lives have just been really crazy, so we were taking a little break, but we will be coming back soon. So if there's something that you would love us to cover, definitely send that in.
That's exciting. I am so thrilled that the Legendary Ladies are getting back together. So whatever you cover, I will be listening because I would definitely listen to the podcast, even if I don't watch the shows or the movies or read the comics or listen to the music that you talk about. I still listen to the podcast. So I'm excited for whatever you all choose to review. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Supergirl Radio. But until next time, I'm still Rebecca Johnson.
And I'm still Morgan Glennon, and we hope you enjoy some self-care this week, like Silver Banshee in the beauty parlor.
McGurk! I love typing.
Not mess with my Google Docs, Meeksy.
Supergirl Radio is going live every night of the week. How do you like it? Is becoming a human burrito a plus or a minus? I don't know. It does seem snug.
I mean, they say you are what you eat.
Kira. I love that.
So I do a podcast called Supergirl Radio, and one of our segments is Lena Luthor, Boardroom or Ballroom. Because
she looks like a boss in this coat.
Nasty Luthor like a different Luthor? It's not just Lena being mean?
No.
Helen Slater here. So fun to know that you're hosting a podcast called Supergirl Radio.
Yeah!